ओम महादेवी च विद्महे विष्णुपत्नी च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्।
Namaste. Today I'm going to talk about the most important thing is about the environmental issue. Now many people think about the environmental issue and they talk about that the environment has to be saved, the environment has to be done this and done that. The basic problem with the environment is consumption. So there are two things if you follow in your life, it is easy to avoid environmental disaster. Very, very easy. It can be followed by everybody across. First is vegetarian food. That is what the great Vallalar says. Jiva Karunyam means not killing another life for the sake of the food. So the first and the most important thing is vegetarianism. If people stop eating fish, actually the oceans can be saved completely. The entire industry would undergo a massive change because the consumption of fish is so much that it is destroying the ocean. It is destroying the ecological balance in a person's life. So the first and the most important thing is eating vegetarian food. The amount of pig, amount of goat, amount of cattle which is being killed to titillate the palate, including the chicken, is so huge, and the carbon food imprint of that is so huge. So therefore the first and the most important thing, if you want a better life for the planet, start consuming vegetarian food. It has a huge impact on the environment, and many people are not aware of the environment damage caused by these non-vegetarian food. The amount of carbon dioxide which is released by these so-called process of bringing up the chicken, goat, fish, all the thing is so much that it is giving a huge disaster to the planet across. The second one is the practice of simplicity. The point is, Patanjali talks about aparigraha. Aparigraha means not wanting things which are not useful to you. There is a big movement in America or across the world which is coming across, where they call it as minimalism. Now that is taking life to a very far extent. Minimalism means using objects, using things which are very, very minimal in nature across. Now that is a very good theory, but many people, many families might find it very difficult to practice. So the second thing is, stop consuming more and more. Throw away all the objects, or do not buy objects which are not in use to you as a person. Now many people promote the idea of buying more and more objects. You have to come to the point of understanding happiness comes when you want to make other people happy, when you want to make other people better in your life across. So the first and the foremost thing which is very, very important is aparigraha, practice of simplicity, practice of minimalism. Now if your heart is very big, as you are traveling you can pick up many people in your car. If your heart is very big, you can actually give food to many people. If your heart is very big, you can give clothes to many people. So the point is, if you start giving, actually you get more opportunity, more links, more growth as a person also. So the second most important thing is the practice of simplicity, which is very, very important. The third important thing, all these business has to undergo a massive change. Instead of trying to work for a single dimension, a profit of their stockholders, they can try to work for 10% for the employee, 50% for the stockholder, 10% for the management. Like that, if you try to spread it out, many people will get benefited out of it. But the problem is the end results is profit. So for the sake of profit, they try to give bali of many people's life. So you have to come to the understanding and asking yourself a very, very basic question. Are we going to think about only corporate profit or the profit for the entire lot of people who take care of it? I know one person who did it in America. He simply raised the salary. He shares his entire business profit with his employee. Actually, he doesn't have any attrition rate and they are very, very successful. I saw a Japanese businessman who told, I take less from the customer and more from more I give it to the employee, and actually he is making a lot of profit across. In fact, the attrition is so low. So therefore, the first and the most important thing which many people have in their life is about making profit. That is what Francis of Assisi says very beautifully. It is in giving that we receive. If we have this as a third attitude of trying to give to the environment more, people more, actually our heart will become peaceful. We will become more and more successful in our life. So it is very important that you develop these three practices: non-vegetarianism, minimalism, and that is eating vegetarian food, avoiding unnecessary purchases and minimalism. And the third most important thing after this is that of trying to give more and receive less across. Now if you do that, you will become more spiritual. You will have more, what you call it as, working for the globe. Many people want to have a great destiny. Destiny is nothing but working for a number of people higher and higher. That is the meaning of destiny. I hope this is a new approach towards the environmental challenge, which can be personal and can be used by anyone else across. In the name of ignorance, in the name of that and this, many people spoil the environment. This is a very noble approach which will help you to have a better time, not only for the planet but also for you as a person. Take care, and I pray God, may your spiritual life deepen. May your spiritual antakarna become very big, and may you be helping more and more people. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for the video. Do share it with other people. Thank you. Namaste. Today I am going to talk about the future prophecies of mine. Many people ask what will happen to the future of the world. Will the COVID destroy everything, or will there be any world wars, or will the world survive the downturn due to the environmental pollution? There is a lot of talk which goes about it. Remember, the world is going to become one. We are going to heading into an era of world of one government, one world. Many people talk about Nostradamus prophecy. Actually, Nostradamus prophecy is European centric. He never ever wrote about anything in the world. It is a wild concoction of many people to talk about Nostradamus prophecy connected to the world. When he was alive, there was not much of interaction of the European countries with the other countries. Therefore, to talk about Nostradamus prophecy connected with Modi and all is absolute rubbish. All that he talked about was the European history and the European rise and king's fall, which he had talked extensively across as a person. So the first of all, this is a very, very new thing. The world is going to come into one world, one government. Now many people will ask me, how is that possible? Now you take this. Earlier, India was 540 kingdoms. The small kingdoms got united. Now there were villages, cities and metropolitan cities. The villages fought with each other and they formed cities. The cities fought with each other and they slowly became what you call it as the epicenter of power. Now that is why in Tamil Nadu it is called Seran, Pandian, Solan. Now it's all combined together and formed as an India. Therefore, now slowly the unity of India which happened, just like that there will be the Indian subcontinent will get united with the other countries. Now when the other countries small unity is happening, that you can see in ASEAN. ASEAN is they are trying to connect each other with that of trade, and afterwards the entire Asian continent will unite. Already the European continent has got united, that is called as the European Union. Slowly it will happen with the America, it will be the American Union which will happen. So it will be all the, what you call it as the continents will unite with each other, and they will form one big entities, because it is very useful for trade and it is very useful for travel. It will be like you can go to Pakistan, Afghanistan very easily without much of passport and all that, so that you can travel all over Asia easily. Now the next level of cooperation will come with war. The Europe has already faced 2 wars. So America uniting the continents will face another 2 wars. Africa facing continents will unite wars, and basically the Asia connecting will face 2 wars. So there will be many small military, small wars will be there, but there will be major 2 to 3 wars will be there. So there are totally 5 continents. There will be around 15 wars which will be there. The wars will be of 2 levels. That is one country like Iraq, which is being mulled over by many countries like the NATO alliance, or 2 countries fight with each other like that of Saudi Arabia and Yemen. Saudi Arabia wants to have a total domination about the Middle East, so that they will try to fight more and more unity. Both business, computer and many wars at many facets will come. Ultimately you will have a grand council where people will elect a lot of people using various mechanisms. It will be like European Union, the World Union will be there. There will be a president and there will be a lot of people, subcommittees will be there to take care of it. People will find it very easily to unite, because the internet is breaking the barrier of language, distance and also travel. And now slowly we will come to the point of Vasudhaiva Kudumbam, where we look at the world as one world, one government. This is my first prophecy. The world will become one world and one government, and this is not being told by Nostradamus, and many people will like to attribute to Nostradamus because that is the only well-known name. So we are going to head into one world, one government. The villages will unite with cities. The cities will unite with metropolitan cities. Metropolitan cities will form nation. Nation will unite each other into the continent, and the continents will unite each other. Finally there will be a continental war which will be there. Afterwards the world will unite itself. Therefore World War can be called as the European centric war, whereas we are yet to see the unity of war happening in many other areas. So this is my first prophecy about the world. So you can see the number of prophecies which are appearing across to you as a person. Thank you. The second set of prophecy is the man becoming women, women becoming a man. There was a beautiful movie which is called as Ki or Ka, in which the women will go to work, man will stay in the house. Slowly it will come to the point, many men will grow long hairs, women will cut their hairs. Women will go to the job, get educated, go to job and will try to make money. Man will sit in the house and he will probably cook. In the future, you can say 2 men are like talking to each other in the phone and they are telling, hey, my wife is coming, I will talk to you later. You will also see a lot of men getting beaten up by the women. It is not the men are being beating the man, it is actually the reverse. And you can also see many women are raping the man. That will also be happening across as a person. Slowly it will come to the point, man will be submissive to women and women will be doing the total domination of the world. Now if you see president, prime minister, the power centric is all with a man. Slowly all these things will change where women will take over, women will be the judge, women will be the bureaucrat, women will be the power center of the entire world. In fact, it will come to the point that man will protest for freedom, whereas women will say, you cannot go to your mother's house. How dare you go to your mother's house? After you got married, you only belong to me. You cannot go to your mother's house. And you can see already lot of men are growing long hair. They cry, they take care of the baby, they change the nappies, all that thing will be there. It will be very rare to find man like me, who are totally masculine, who does not like to cook, clean the house, who like to make money. All these things are going to change in the future, in the coming 50, 100 years. If you see, the IMF chief is a laggard, and lot of South Asian countries, the rulers are women. So it will be a top-down effect. Lot of president like that, layer after layer, the women will take over and man will become submissive. In future, you will have a lot of bosses who are women, who are very, very dominating. And if you try to fight with the women, they will make you resign the job. It will come to the point where women will be asked to take care of the mustache, and many of the women will like to have artificial insemination. And also, if you see, people like to change their lovers. Earlier you will say, oh, man had 5 lovers, 6 lovers, he had a harem of women. Now you will see women having multiple affairs. And if you see Angelina Jolie, for every movie she had a man. If you see Sushmita Sen, she got married very, very late to a boy younger to her as a person, and also she had multiple affairs. So it will be common for many women to change their boyfriend and try to have a baby at the end of 45. First they will get educated, then they will go to work, make money, have a house, and finally they will try to have a baby. Man will be actually reversed. They will try to have the baby first, and then finally they will go to a job. And actually it will come to the point where they will say, man will say to a mummy, I need to go back to the house because my wife will be there, she would have come, I need to put the coffee across and give. Many men will be very, very strong in cooking. Many women will not only order from Swiggy and Zomato, but also will order a man who will say, hey, why don't you bring the coffee to me across as a person. The men will sleep, men will cry, men will put ring in the ears, men will put bangles in the hand. Slowly they will become feminist. It is not, I am talking something out of the way. Slowly you will see this trend which is being happening. This is my second thing. The man will become women, women will become man. Namaste. Today I am going to talk about the inauguration oath of Stalin. Now many astrologers don't understand that the inauguration oath is very, very important. Stalin took the oath on today, that is Friday, at about 9 o'clock in front of the governor. The Lagna was supposed to be that of Mithuna. Now Mithuna Lagna, Mars in the first house, and also you have the Mercury, Venus in the 12th house along with the Rahu, and also you have the what you call it, the Sun in the 11th house, and also the 8th house of Saturn, the 10th, the 9th, 7th and the 10th Lord is in the 9th house across, and the Rahu Ketu is in the 6th and 12th axis. Now what is the implication of that? Now this is a very, very important horoscope, the oath taking horoscope of the chief minister. Now this will give you a lot of input about the economy, it will give you a lot of input about the ideas about how the whole thing is going to go about. So that is a very, 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 very important horoscope. This is a very important thing in the mundane astrology. Now not many people are aware of such an implication with that of mundane astrology. It's a very, very important technique. It's called the oath taking technique. First, the Lagna Lord is in the 12th house along with Rahu, which means Stalin will not be able to implement what he thinks. There will be a lot of problem in the implementation of the thing. Especially the Mercury and the Rahu is there, so I don't think so he will be able to implement the neat part of the thing. He has been going on telling that he will try to change the NEET and the NEET related thing. That is not going to happen. And also the fourth lord is in the 12th house, which means the real estate, automobiles and housing and construction and building area is going to get dramatically hit. There is going to be a recession in these particular sector as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, which means in Sri Perumbudur we will see the offtake of employee is coming down drastically across. Now this automobile industry in Chennai, in Tamil Nadu is going to undergo a lot of problem across as a person. The second problem is the fifth lord is in the 12th house. There is going to be problem in the education sector. The education sector is going to have a dramatic problem because the fifth lord is in the 12th house. The second one is you also have the fifth and the fourth lord is in the 12th house along with Rahu, which means there will be a lot of expenditure which Stalin will be facing. In fact, the income will be very less and the expenditure will be very high because there are three planets in the expenditure house of Venus, Mercury, Rahu, whereas in the income expenditure there has been only one single house. So this is going to be a major issue for Stalin. The income part of it is going to be a problem. There is going to be an excessive expenditure and there is going to be borrowing of money because there is the 11th and the 6th lord is there. So therefore the government will be forced to borrow the money either in terms of taking loans from the people or loans from the outside bank. There is going to be a lot of loan taking will be there. Now, the good point of it is the second lord is in the 9th house, which means the food problem will not be there. There won't be any major food problem in the coming 5 years across. There is not going to be a water problem is going to be there. But the water dispute and the water problem will continue to be there, but water as such will be available. The 10th lord is in the 9th house along with the second lord. Basically, we can see a lot of good governance will be coming there, and the 7th lord is in the 10th house. He will be able to get along with most of the alliances and partners without much of a problem across. The other problem is the 9th lord is in the 8th house, so which means he will have a very confrontational approach with Banwarilal Purohit and also with the center government. There is going to be a confrontational approach, but it might be very mild in the nature across. The 8th lord in the 8th house shows that there is not going to be a major death. Just like the COVID wave which is being coming across, there is not going to be a major death which is going to be happening across. Now this is something which is very, very different. Now this horoscope portends that not much of death will be there, especially in the COVID like situation across. The other point of it, if you put Saturn as a Lagna, Mars in the 6th house, so basically the land and the land reforms can have a basic issue of what he is talking about. There is not going to be much of construction project, development project, because he is not going to have the money in the exchequer. That is going to be a dramatic problem for him as a person. The other point of it is the for 5 years he will go through, his health is going to become okay. The other point of it is his son might not play such an important role as far as the political thing is concerned. The third lord is in the 11th house, so communication devices will be improving, 5G and allowing other people to come in the network and play them across. He is going to get on better and better as a person. Now this is going to be a better approach towards it, and he will travel a lot to Delhi across, and he might do it across. Overall the horoscope is weak because of Venus, Mercury, Rahu. I would have preferred a Lagna which is like that of the Simha Lagna, or possibly the Kanya Lagna, which is the best. But unfortunately now, due to COVID situation and non-belief in astrology, all these things has happened today. So please understand, people who are in the automobile industry, who are in the construction industry, education industry, is going to be a lot of problem. He is going to travel abroad a lot, and there is going to be, because the 12th house is 2 planets, so there is going to be a lot of travel will be there. Is there going to be a lot of violence? No, there is not going to be much of violence coming across. It is not going to be as violent as West Bengal and as violent as the other area. That things are going to be much better for him as a person. The other important thing is there is going to be what you call it as the overall the 6th lord Mars in the 1st house, so ADMK might not be giving him so much of trouble. He might be only mentally be worried about, and he might not face a very credible opposition. The opposition might undergo a lot of changes both in the model and in the approach across as a person. Therefore, this is a horoscope which has a lot of strength and a lot of weakness across. So I request the astrologers, people who are uneducated like Balaji Hasan, should learn to use this particular thing. Please understand that Balaji Hasan, Shelby should talk about their techniques across. I am emphasizing this particular point because the problem with these people, they make very dramatic prediction and then they change it, and when it suits be there, and therefore this is called as the oath taking ceremony horoscope. This is a very important technique which is being told. So I request the young astrologers, people who are practicing mundane astrology, who like to learn, please cast the horoscope. Please make that for 5 years period of time. You would be able to use this horoscope very easily across. The other point of it, I didn't go into the divisional chart of Navamsa, Dasamsa and all that thing, and even with the Ashtavarga I have not gone inside. But let me use the only one important principle of transit. Now Saturn will be transiting the 9th and the 10th house and the 11th house, which means the situation financially will improve a lot for Stalin, and the recession might not affect so much like that of the other state. Tamil Nadu will be able to overcome the particular thing across, because once the Saturn leaves the entry of the 8th house, it goes into the 9th, 10th and the 11th house. It's going to do better across the percent, and there is going to be a dramatic rise in the Sun TV share. Already the Sun is exalted across, and all shares which are green in color and white in color are going to have a problem. All automobile sectors are going to, the pharmaceutical industry in Chennai is going to do well across, and there is going to be a dramatic success in the pharmaceutical industry across. So therefore this is the overall analysis of the horoscope. Now that many people are the budding astrologers should use this technique instead of trying to fib around and instead of trying to project as if they are all knowing, all perfect without any technique, and building out will land them in a lot of trouble. There is a saying which can be applied to Balaji Hasan, Kuruttu Puna Vittathila Panja Adi Vizhundai Sagundra Madi. This is going to be the problem. So please use the technique. It's going to get much better. Thank you. Namaste. Now this is a video of the part 2, fake gurus, Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev. Now I request Jaggi Vasudev people not to troll me, but make your guru do something which I ask him to do. Now, the best way to prove somebody is to do it and show it. Now, I want to tell in 10 manners how Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev are fake. I am talking using the scriptural knowledge and the behavior of the saints, which are being promoted in a book called Sannyasa Upanishad. Sannyasa Upanishad is a Upanishad in which the sannyasis are supposed to behave in a certain manner. There are rules and regulations which are written very, very clearly across as a person. The second problem with this entire, those so-called Jaggi Vasudeva and Nityananda is they break so much of rules. In fact, we question them whether they are sannyasi itself. This is the video to make people awaken about these fakes. Just because a prime minister come, it doesn't mean Jaggi Vasudev you are enlightened. Enlightenment is very, very different from bringing the prime minister. And this is not something like a hate campaign. Why should somebody hate you? Somebody questions you, it is a hate campaign. Huh? Now, the first thing is, the first question. The Sannyasa Upanishad says that you are supposed to wear a garuva. You are either a Triangi sannyasi, Dviangi sannyasi, or Ekanga sannyasi, or Digambara sannyasi. But they tell you very specifically, you are supposed to wear an orange color ochre robe. Now, Mr. Jaggi Vasudev, I want to ask you, all the time you are wearing color dress. Then how can you ever even claim that you are a guru to somebody? You wear color clothes, you wear pants, you wear half trousers. Now, we just do not understand that if you are not following the rules of sannyas, why do you claim impossible things? You have no discipline. You are living the way you want to live without, you have every right to live your way. But don't claim yourself to be a Sadguru if you are not following the rules of the scriptures. The second one is excessive makeup. You see Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev, they will wear cooling glass, they will put a makeup, they will... Even Amitabh Bachchan will feel ashamed of the way Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev clearly the way they do makeup. You are supposed to be having a bath, nothing wrong. Other than that, the hairdos of Nityananda is something amazing. Even the catwalk of Paris will touch the feet. They will say, oh boy, we have never understood that this kind of hairdos do exist. Even a woman will feel ashamed of Nityananda for the level of hairdo he spends the time. Now you go take a woman, the amount of beauty parlourness which they will be spending the money and time for the marriage or for any occasion will not be for Nityananda video. Nityananda will spend hours and hours in front of to have such a kind of a hairdo. We just don't understand. It clearly, Sannyasa Upanishad clearly states that one should not wear beauty products. It clearly states. Show me one sannyas in the past, like Ramakrishna was doing the makeup, Vivekananda was doing the makeup, Ramana Bhagavan was doing the makeup, Vallalar was doing the makeup. Vallalar had only one Angi, Eka Angi Sannyasi. Now, the third thing is, what is the scriptural you have spoken, Mr. Jaggi Vasudeva Nityananda? I have never seen them talking about scriptures. Do they quote about Viveka Chudamani? Do they talk about the what you call Brahma Sutra? Nothing. That thing what Mr. Jaggi Vasudev promotes is Nirvana Shatakam, and the Nirvana Shatakam is written by Adi Shankara. And can you tell me the place where he has written? No, you have no idea. It was written in Sri Sailam. And that particular Nirvana Shatakam is practiced by Kriya Yogans. So they will read that thing before they start. So somewhere he must have attended the workshop and decided to do the entire thing. That is the only scripture I have seen him ever even talk about it. I just don't understand Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev. I am not telling that, for example, you take B.K. Sengar, he will quote from Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he will quote Sanskrit text. Tell me one day Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev has ever quoted from the textbooks? No. 99% of their videos is about irrelevant things. They will be talking about this and that and that and this. It is about, he will comment about Baisullah Masood. He will talk about all the other things other than scriptures. Now, Chinmayananda was talking about only about Bhagavad Gita. Somebody will talk about Mandukya Upanishad. I just don't understand, because these people are uneducated.
The word dharma in Hinduism is a most confusing word. There are only two letters in it, dharma. But if you check up any of the authentic dictionary, Sanskrit dictionary, you shall find that the meaning of that little two-lettered word, dharma, will be about 3 columns every page, and like that 3 pages, 9 columns of small print will be all its meaning. And at the end of it, strangely enough, you see that the lexicon, the author of it has written there as etc., etc., etc. Meaning, it's not complete, but these are some of the meanings of it. The word is the same, dharma. Hundreds of meanings. Its application. Therefore, you will find from book to book or author to author or speaker to speaker, they interpret the dharma as differently.
They have just simply said, oh, I know everything, I am all-knowing. You ask who I am, you will get enlightened. Oh, is it so? Is it so easy? Now, Nityananda and Jaggi Vasudev promises the followers that they will get enlightened. Now, today they might be talking about happiness, unhappiness, that, but in general they were telling, follow me, I will lead you to God, I will lead you to enlightenment. It is more than 25 years. Show me one enlightened disciple of yours. Show me one enlightened disciple. You use disciple to do your menial work. You both of you use the disciple. It is an unpaid servants they need to be doing there. They should not question you. That is all. Nothing else. Because you don't want to give any payments to anyone, you simply take them as student and make them do menial work. Or whatever, computer trolling or whatever the work they have been doing. So therefore, I ask you, show me one student whom you have got enlightened. No, you cannot show. And the other important thing is, you talk about Masood, you talk about this, why don't you condemn the Pollachi incident? They were barbarians. Next door it has happened. They have raped women, they have used women, they have extracted money as a blackmail. Jaggi Vasudev, you don't have the nerve, because that Pollachi MLA will screw your ass. He will make sure that he will go to hell. That is, he will make your life miserable. So you don't want to condemn that. I just don't understand the entire thing. You need Kandasashti, in the Arunagirinathar really sings, I don't care about anybody, Lord Muruga, because I have total devotion towards you. If you have total devotion, then why don't you condemn such a ghastly act? No, you will not condemn, because it is not your convenience. It will make you inconvenient. And the next thing, the scriptures talk about mannasai, pennasai, ponnasai. They say no sannyasis should hold lands. In fact, I met Shantananda. He said, Gopal, I cannot sign any land because the scripture forbids me from holding any land. But all these guys have acre and acres of land. And to that extent that Nityananda had become a rogue in stealing all the lands of their temples. Wow, what is this? Is this a sannyasi? What? Nobody should question you. Everybody will have a hate campaign now. Please give up your land desire before you talk about desireless states about to others. You have vast amount of land that even it will put a shame. Vijayanagar Empire was lesser than what you are having. Then women. Sannyasa Upanishad clearly says you cannot meet women without a consort. They should be maintained at 10 meters. That is what Chandrasekhara Saraswati was doing. I am not telling you need to do all that thing. But you are drooling front of Kangana Rogar and all those Vidya Balan and other people. I just don't understand. Why are you, Jaggi Vasudev, wearing a cooling glass? Because you will see her different parts and she might see you through. And Nityananda has always women around him as a person. How can you ever maintain celibacy? I just don't understand. It is clearly said Brahmacharya. So Jaggi Vasudev can talk to any actor, actress and dance this and that, and Nityananda can dance anything to that, and nobody should question her. What the hell, man? Everybody is an idiot. And the next thing, it talks clearly about the desire for gold. Nityananda has gone mad after the gold, taking tons of gold and running away from the thing. And Jaggi Vasudev buys a helicopter, Hummer car, bloody car. If I am 25 years old, if somebody is saying I want to drive a bike and a car, I want to have a helicopter, it will make sense. After renouncing everything, why do you need a helicopter? Why at all you need a Hummer car? Why can't you practice simplicity? It is all bloody lies. The money has allowed your fantasy to come through. What you were craving, it has all come through. So having a bike and driving like this, 12 lakhs bike. Young boys will be interested in that. Come on, Jaggi Vasudeva and Nityananda, stop trying to screw up people's life. So my question is, why do these people wear garva? Tell me, show me one enlightened follower of yours who have got Jivan Mukti or anything like that. And why do you don't talk about scriptures? Why are you having manna say, ponna say, penna say? And why are you so much interested in makeup and showmanship? See, for example, Arunagirinathar wrote a beautiful piece on Lord Muruga. Atti Tirumuttaittari Saravanapati. It is remembered, nobody promotes it. And I want to ask you, both of you worship Shiva. In fact, Shaivites have sung so much of poetry. Can you show me one poetry written by Jaggi Vasudeva and Nityananda? No. Because they do not worship God. They worship the yoni of a woman and they worship the gold and the material wealth in the name of sannyasi. That is the reason. When the divine ecstasy happens, automatically poetry happens. Vallalar had it. Appar had it. Jnana Sundar had it. And why are these buggas are not having it? And the second thing is, you can say, I don't need any rules, Jaggi Vasudeva. You can say Nityananda. Yeah, when can you break a rule? When you have broken all the rule. Somebody went to Vallalar and asked him, the Britishman asked him, are you Vallalar? Can you turn everything into gold? He held the horse carriage and it turned and the entire bar became gold. The man was simply amazed. Now, the great Nerur Brahmendra walked naked and the Muslim king got very angry and cut his hands. And he just walked like that. They gave back the hand, he just refixed it and went. They do not have rules. So when you reach the state, please talk about not following any rule. So please stop. I request all the people to stop this conning mechanism which has been employed to make crores of people and loot them. They are just glorified yoga teachers. They are not enlightened. They are not sadhana. I met one lady, I asked, why are you not promoting yourself? She said, I don't have time for my sadhana, Gopal. Where is the question of me going and doing publicity stunts? Therefore, I request all the people to see through it. They have manna bigger than yours, ponna bigger than yours, penna say. So bloody lust for women is so big. Only beautiful women can interview Jaggi Vasudeva. Only beautiful women will surround this thing. We are not angry. We are not cheap. So Jaggi Vasudeva and Nityananda, please change yourself. Talk about scriptures. Live a simple life. Everybody will appreciate you. At the same time, because few LKG people in the spiritual life appreciate you, it does not mean that you are a great guys and you are enlightened. There is a blessing in India. Chatrasya Raja Varunaha Nakshatranam Sadabhisha Tau Devebhyo Vashishtamayuha. Which means they say, may you give like the rain. May you shine like the 100 stars of the Sadabhish. And may even your enemies who are like Lord Vashishta, Sage Vashishta, appreciate your talent. So even your critics must say that, oh wow, what a way to do a sadhana. We are asking you what it is available in the common platform. We are not talking about some extraordinary things. Even Amritanandamayi wears white dress, but she wears only that. She doesn't wear color thing and all. Please respect Sannyasu. Don't try to be Osho 2, Osho 3. If you have guts, talk about the scriptures. If you have guts, show Vishwamitra Asan. If you have guts, show the Siddhi like Valala. If you have guts, then write poetry like any of those great guys who worship Shiva. Don't talk about rubbish, Jaggi Vasudev. Don't say Pulwama, the land has to be put like that and this. This is all nonsense. You don't have any content. You just want to be famous. This is not a hate campaign about you, Jaggi Vasudev or Nityananda. All of you are getting fooled by these idiots. So please change yourself and argue. Don't try to send people. Don't try to troll me. Greatness does not come with trolling. Greatness will come with spiritual guts. I have every spiritual guts to talk from the scriptures. Do both of you know that there is a Sannyasa Upanishad exist? So therefore, it is not like I have never even seen them talking about Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Garunda Samhita, Shiva Samhita, nothing you talk about. And all the followers of Jaggi Vasudev, you might be intelligent in engineering, but not in spiritual life. You might be very uneducated. You might not have done the sadhana in your life. So stop trying to fib people. And the last of the peak of the idiocy is there was a movie called Pottu Amman. And that Pottu Amman is being taken as promoted as Linga Bhairavi. What nonsense! Even ISKCON wanted to promote Krishna. They gave artists, they gave money to the artist to draw the thing. Jaggi Vasudev, you don't have common sense. You have copied it from a movie. And consecration of the Linga Bhairavi, oh my God, I just cannot understand somebody dancing like this, doing like this, and claiming. What is this, a spirituality? They don't chant mantras, they don't do homam in a consecration of a temple. And there are few idiots who are crying in that thing. Spiritual idiots, spiritual stupids. You do not know about the mantra, you do not know how to do Kumbhabhisheka. Then call us, we will do it for you. We will put the photo of the Linga Bhairavi and that Pottu Amman which was being acted by the Ramya Krishnan. Such is the level of idiocy which has been promoted by so-called the Jaggi Vasudev followers and Nityananda followers. Idiots. They have never done sadhana. They have never sat down. Even Vipassana sadhana for 10 days, 21 days, 48 days. So please don't think you are all very intelligent and you are all knowing. If you ask who I am, you will get enlightened. Who I am, you will get enlightened. Nonsense. Go and sit like Ramana Maharishi in the Tiruvannamalai thing. One man told me, he told, I do not know how Ramana Bhagavan sat. That in that Virupaksha cave, there is so much of mosquitoes. It will bloody eat the hell out of you. Even till today, nobody in the night can sit in the Virupaksha caves for the amount of mosquitoes there is available. Nobody can sit in that peak what he went out and said. Direct sun will hit you. You will have sunstroke. So please trying to stop fibbing like Osho and this thing. At least Osho spoke about scriptures. Jaggi Vasudev followers, please grow up. Nityananda followers, please grow up. Don't think you will get enlightened. The road to hell is paved with good intention. Even devil will quote scriptures. But at least allow your Gurujis to quote some scriptures. Ask them about it. So I request you, prove me wrong. Change yourself and prove me wrong. Thank you.